beautiful Shelby Lake, Gulf Shores, Alabama. This is Mom Town's February tournament, February 24th, 2024. My intro is actually taking place towards the end of the day. I was in gung-ho tournament mode this morning. But best 3 bass over 10 inches. Let's see what happens. Ooh, what a difference a few hours makes. So this was first thing in the morning, a little after 6, probably about 6:10, 6:15. You can see a slick back calm, and you know if it's going to be calm weather, I'm going to be throwing that Shimano World Pop. I flashed it on the screen just a few seconds ago, and going to be walking it, stopping it, walking it, stopping it. I'm still just trying to figure out what's going on at first, throwing it on the grass edges. Anytime I see like a little lane that cuts up towards the bank, I'm going to cast it in there and walk it a little bit, stop it. I know there's some islands coming up on this bank here as we get from Middle Lake to Little Lake in the back. I'm going to fish around those islands, see what happens, just trying to build a pattern. It's my first time here and just trying to get something going, just trying to get an idea, and it's always good to start with topwater. Alright, doesn't feel tremendously sizable, but it is the first fish and it's early, so that is a good way to start the morning, get some momentum going. Let's get him on the board, see how long he is. 10 1/4, so he does make the 10-inch mark, but not by much. Let's get him back in the water and get back to it. So what I didn't show is that fish splashed all around and made a bunch of commotion, so going to have to be careful of that moving forward. You can see I got some birds flying off from the left to the right there. There was a whole bunch of those birds on this side of the bank. Off to the right there is one of those small little islands. Going to be working it with that World Pop a little bit. Going to go all around it. And you see we just hooked up here. That was a decent little splash. This guy's fighting hard to be not too huge, but he's bigger than that 10-incher. Let's get him in. Goodness, he's got a lot of energy. Alright, got him netted. Let's get him on that board. Bad fish, not a bad fish at all. 15 even. I'm thinking that if I'm having this kind of action pretty early, everybody else is too. So I'm gonna hurry up, get this guy in the water, and get back to searching with that topwater. We've caught one right off the bank. We've caught one right off the end of an island. So hasn't been much of a pattern there. We're still building. So really what I'm trying to do, since I caught that last fish, out from one of these islands, I'm trying to focus my energy on working the islands more. And there's really not a whole lot of places where the grass cuts into the bank like I caught that first fish. So, I would love to fish more places where the grass ends and I can fish straight to the bank, because they ought to be just about bedding because it's late February. But there's just not a whole lot of that. So caught that 15 off an island, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on. It was supposed to be blowing about 10 miles an hour to start out with this morning, and it is definitely not doing that now, and it's supposed to get up to about 16, 17 miles an hour, coming from the south and eventually from the west. So trying to make hay while the sun is shining and it's calm, so to speak. You must be a little ways behind me, I guess. I saw your boat at one time. Oh man, I just had a little fella hit at the boat. Jeez Louise. So this little guy's not very long. He's probably about 10 inches, but I'm going to tell you a secret that's a little embarrassing. So I was holding that guy over the edge, trying to get a treble hook out of my pants that got snagged up, and he flippity-flopped and flipped right out of my hands, hit the edge of the boat, and went right back in the water. So a little embarrassing, a little mad. I hope that fish doesn't cost me. So all along one of these islands here on this right side of the bank, there's an island that's going around. I have been spooking fish really close to the bank. It's very shallow here. They've been swirling and like swimming off and pushing wakes, whenever I get any kind of distance to them. So I'm trying to kind of hang back, work that popper, from a distance if I can, and try not to spook these fish, but so far I'm not having much luck with getting the big guys to bite. And that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here, just kind of working this outer edge, and boom, I got one, but he's not very big. And all of this action has happened in probably about an hour from me starting. So I'm really thinking that, man, if I'm having this kind of action, everybody else has to be too. So I don't even get a picture of this guy. I just put him in the water because I'm thinking that, you know, if I just keep fishing, I'm going to hook up with some. And I don't. It goes like an entire hour. I don't even get another bite. So the wind's starting to pick up a little. I'm going to switch to that hybrid hunter. You know, if you've watched a few of my videos last year, I love that hybrid hunter if there's any kind of current or wind. So that's what we're doing here. I've been throwing it maybe about 5 minutes, and I'm going to get hooked up in just a second. I think on the next cast maybe. Alright, hook up. This guy's pulling a little bit. He's going to be bigger than 10 inches, but he's not going to be big as that first fish. Only on the back hook. Let's get that guy in. We got him. Let's get a picture of this rascal and see how big he is. That's going to be our third fish. So dropping those two in before didn't really hurt us. 12 3/4. Whew. Now we can breathe a little easier. Get this guy in. We've got 3. Now we just got to upgrade. So the thumbnail fish is going to come up next, so be prepared for that. So don't tune off just because I'm munching on Chex Mix. So it's been about 3.5 miles, I would say, to get from where I started at Shelby all the way back here in the back. And I'm doggone hungry, man. It's been a tough paddle. So I'm just taking handfuls of Chex Mix and eating them while I'm working a custom-made chatterbait with a Yamamoto Zako trailer. Alright, and I have been hunting for a place to go to the bathroom all the way back here in the back too. I didn't realize there was walking trails all the way around this thing. So I see a patch of dry land up there that doesn't seem like it has boardwalks and signs all around it. I haven't noticed anybody walking over here, so it's kind of one reason I'm drifting towards this way. But I fished all around Little Lake with a chatterbait and I haven't even had a sniff on it. And before I go in there to use the bathroom, I really just want to make sure that there's not a little fish hanging around on this bank, because I caught my first fish leading up to the bare bank. So I want to make sure I work it real good before. Ooh, what is this? Oh my gosh, that feels heavy. Oh geez, Rick, this is a big fish. Oh my gosh, he's pulling. He is pulling. He's pulling hard. I got straight braid on, thank goodness. I don't think he's going to break my line. If I had mono or fluoro, he might. It's a big old fish, guys. Oh my gosh, did you see that guy? Oh, goodness gracious. Let's get him. And we got him. Yes. Victory. Victory. So the secret is, you have to hunt a bathroom spot. 23.5. Oh my gosh. So my buddy is in the little creek that leads back here, and I give him a phone call, and he comes to take a picture of this big rascal, because this is the biggest fish of the year for me, and it's my second biggest fish ever. And the one that I caught that was longer than this last year wasn't nearly as heavy, so it may actually be my biggest fish. I didn't even have a scale to weigh this guy. But I am darn excited. Heck yeah, let's get this guy back in the water. Let him go and back in the water, fella. So the wind has picked up, as you can see. It's blowing about 16, 17, blowing hats off people's heads. After getting my hat back and keeping going west, I make it to the little bridge dam here. I fish around it for just about 5 minutes and I don't get anything. There's a lot of people hanging around here too, so that may have been part of it, but I know there's bait because there's a bunch of pelicans. But anyway, after this, it's getting to be about 1 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and head back. This is a photo of me meeting up with another guy from the tournament, and we're getting out of our kayaks, dragging up the bank. Got a little water in the back from all them waves. It's kind of heavy. And loading it up on the old Yak Attack cart. And then scooting her across the road back to the pickup truck. So those 3 fish were good enough for first place. So that was 51 1/4 inches. Got first place, a couple dollar bills in my pocket, and life is good. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you think about it.